Hello, welcome to this pick a card reading. Today I thought we could take a look at the ancestral support that is surrounding you. Are my ancestors around me? Who are they? Who are my spirit guides? And what messages do they have for me? So I thought it'd be fun to do a pick a card and really explore that. I'm guessing that if I'm wondering that, you might be wondering that too. So let's have some fun together and let's find out what messages your spirit guides and ancestors have for you. All right, so we have pile 1, which is the stone heart, pile 2, which is the quartz, and pile 3, which is this beautiful seashell. Take a moment, pick a pile that really resonates with you, and let's sync up. Let's take a look. All right. Ooh, Aphrodite, the Shaman of Cups, the King of Wands, the King of Swords. Well, you have a lot of masculine energy, masculine ancestral energy. Owl and Auralite. You have a lot of masculine ancestral energy around you. Somebody who's a male grandfather, going way back, who's very emotional, but also, when he was alive, he was very adept at containing his emotions. In order to do magical work, in order to manifest in the physical realm, he's very skilled with his emotions. He's very skilled emotionally. He doesn't leak energy. He contains energy, and he creates that container for others as well. I get the sense that he's one of those energies that can really hold space for another's emotional depth. So you have this ancestor around you that is very deeply emotional and very adept at emotions. He feels a lot for you. He has a lot of emotion for you. Then you have 2 other ancestors here. One who's just looking straight at you. One who's very preoccupied with the truth, wanting to bring truth to you, wanting to communicate with you. He might be the one that communicates most frequently with you. And he might communicate through sort of verbal messages that you hear through song. Sound, it's what I'm getting. Sound is how he communicates with you. Whether it's like birds chirping or sounds of nature or sounds that you hear in music. He's very, like I said, very preoccupied with bringing you the truth. He's going to support you in seeing the truth in your life and in every situation. So if that resonates with you, if you are also preoccupied with the truth, like finding the truth, this ancestor is supporting you in that. And then we have an ancestor here, a masculine energy here, a male ancestor that helps you to network. He is helping you with how you make connections with people. He's helping you really get in touch with your leadership energies. This man from your history, your heritage, from your family line, I'm trying to find the word here. He's really passionate and creative. And so if you're involved in any passionate, creative endeavor, he's got your back. He's looking straight up at Aphrodite. I think that he's going to support you in your love relationships as well. He's the one that's really guiding you where it comes to navigating your relationships and navigating love, self-love, self-care, but also navigating your relationships with other people, particularly intimate relationships. He's watching that very closely for you. These are the cards that I'm speaking of. The King of Swords, the masculine energy around you, is very preoccupied with the truth, bringing you the truth, supporting you in understanding what's true about you and what's true about the world. And the King of Wands, supporting you in your love relationships and supporting you in your relationship with yourself. Wow, you got these 3 powerful figures here, powerful ancestors that are supporting you in love, supporting you in truth, finding the truth, finding the right path. And then the Shaman of Cups. Let me show you this one. I wonder if he was a therapist. If you have an ancestor that was a therapist in his or his past life, because it is very masculine energy. It could be a woman as well with masculine energy. But if you have an ancestor that was a therapist, somebody who was very good at taking care of other people, had very good boundaries, then that's this ancestor showing up for you. And I get the sense that this ancestor is helping you with creating really, really strong, appropriate emotional boundaries so that you can do the work that you do in the world. Really assisting you with that. That's a really good, that's really great that you have that support, that particular type of support. So this is a universal energy that's coming in here, the Aphrodite, inner goddess. Really get the sense that this is sort of one of the fundamental lessons you're here to learn, because she's in your field, right? She's the one that's also supporting you at this time. It's more of a universal goddess type energy. And this energy is in your life because one of the important lessons for you really is to learn how to connect very deeply with yourself and to understand your self-worth and to share that confidence and that radiance with others. It has a lot to do, again, with the self-care aspect. So creating very appropriate boundaries for yourself so that you can appreciate, like just really deeply appreciating your own divinity, like it says here in this card. And I get the sense that this ancestor is really supporting you with this, but also this guy here is very, very interested in your pursuit of self-appreciation, self-care, very interested in your relationships with others, and really watching over your relationship with others. His whole mission here is to help you blossom. Your creativity, your passion, that's his objective. That's why he's around you. That's why he's, supporting you. So some overall lessons, some lessons that you're here to learn that they are supporting you with is Owl. Owl is very much about the truth. Fundamentally, it's about deception, right? But what's the opposite of deception? It's truth. Uncovering the truth, seeing the truth. So they're really supporting you with this endeavor. And let's read about it, because I want to learn a little bit more about what that really means for you. If Owl is your personal medicine, no one can deceive you about what they are doing, no matter how they try to disguise or hide it from you. Yeah. So I don't know if you can see this, but the King of Swords, this ancestor that's very preoccupied with the truth, is looking straight at the owl, helping you with really seeing what is right in front of you. You may be a little frightening to be around, since so many people have ulterior motives which you see right through. If you are unaware of your medicine power, you may take your keen insights and abilities for granted. Others never do. You may frighten them and reflect their blindness, for you cannot be fooled. Owl medicine people know more about an individual's inner life than that person knows about herself or himself. If you've pulled the Owl card, you're being asked to use your powers of keen, silent observation to intuit some life situation. Owl is befriending you and aiding you in seeing the total truth. Wow, that's so beautiful. So one of the lessons that you're here to learn, that your ancestors are supporting you with, is to use your keen powers of observation to discern the truth. You might be in a profession that is, like an attorney or an investigator or a researcher of some sort, because you got a lot of that energy happening here. And then finally, we have a crystal card. It's called Auralite. This again brings another message of spiritual guidance. So let's look into that. Auralite 24. Okay. You are a multi-layered soul on a course of accelerated spiritual growth. You came to Earth to share your knowledge. You have an ability to move between different dimensions to anchor new vibrations into the Earth plane. The slowness and seeming impossibility of this task have brought disillusionment and discontent, but do not despair. Raise your own consciousness and others will follow. This is the divination. Recognize that you are an integral part of humanity. Center yourself in inner peace and connect to your higher mind before making a decision. Beneficial contacts come through friends and family. It's not so much what you know as whom you know that counts, and that includes higher beings. Oh, wow. That's awesome. This guy here, this guy that's around you, this ancestor that's supporting you in really blossoming, opening up in terms of your passion and creativity and supporting you in your relationships with others, he's all about networking, right? There was something in this reading here that just reminded me of him. Oh yeah, beneficial contacts come through friends and family. And that includes higher beings. So he really is here supporting you in your relationships, supporting you in your networking. This King of Wands figure is really about elevating himself and his mission, his objectives, his vision through his connection with others. All right, so let's take a look at some spiritual guidance or some messages that your ancestors have for you around the current situation in your life, the current energies that you're dealing with. What messages do they have for you? What do they want to tell you? What type of support are they bringing to you at this time? We're going to use the Osho Zen deck, and we're just going to do a shuffle. So yeah, I mean, whoa, gosh, that's a lot, guys. Yeah, they have a lot to say. So I wonder if you find it as interesting as I do, that you have all of this very masculine energy around you in terms of your spirit guides and your ancestral support. And then you have it's like all these men are supporting you in finding your inner goddess. That really connecting with your quintessential self, your inner divinity. And they're doing that in a lot of different ways, helping you to care for yourself, helping you to create really powerful, beneficial connections with others, helping you in your relationships, and helping you to see the truth. All right. So here are some messages from your guides, from your ancestors, where it comes to your current life situation. We have laziness. We have politics. Look at that. This is one of my least favorite cards in the deck, but it's super powerful. The imagery is just really potent. And then we have guidance. So again, confirmation that you are being guided around this current situation. Unseen guidance. So there's an element of complacency. Feeling you've been in this place for a long time. You know the ins and outs of this thing, this place, this situation. And you've become sort of complacent. It's not really helping you to grow. It's not really helping you to develop. You're just sort of stuck, sort of emotionally stuck in this place, this thing that potentially no longer serves you, but is probably kind of comfortable. It's the thing that you know. Your spirit guides and your ancestors are asking you to take a closer look at this sense of complacency that you've developed around a situation or a thing that no longer serves you. Let's move on to politics. Here we have a message of having two faces and a message of authenticity. Either you are struggling with being your authentic self, connecting with your true quintessential self, blossoming into yourself, appreciating yourself. Or there's somebody around you that has two faces. They show one face to the world. It looks one way, it looks very nice and sweet and innocent, but behind that mask, they have ulterior motives. This could be a warning or a request from your guides to take a closer look. If this is resonating with you, take a closer look at somebody who might be close to you that is wearing a mask. It could also be a message that it's time for you to really step into who you are and show that consistently to the world, show that to the people around you consistently. Transparency is the other word that comes through. And again, no doubt that you have this guidance around you and you are being guided in this current situation. Wow. So again, 3 very strong ancestors, masculine energy, supporting you in discerning the truth, supporting you and finding that right path, using, I really get the sense that something that you're like your superpower, like the book said, your superpower is developing your keen observation so that you can discern the truth in any situation, and you have support to do that. This is like the number one objective of this ancestral energy that is surrounding you, that's supporting you at this time. Developing your relationships, beneficial relationships with others, depends on your ability to care for yourself and to appreciate your own divinity, to appreciate yourself, to know your self-worth. And you have an ancestor that is supporting you with that, a spirit guide ancestor that is supporting you with specifically that. Very, very focused on helping you blossom in terms of your passion and your creativity, finding your passion, blossoming into who you really are. And then finally, this is sort of like an overall energy that's coming in that's very contained, very emotionally adept, wanting to support you with creating a container so that you can do the work, the magical work that you're here to do, and not allow your emotions to get in the way of that work. Now that has a specific tie. These feel very closely related to me. The Shaman of Cups and the King of Swords, these two energies that are around you. Because what often gets in the way of our ability to see what's right in front of us are our emotions, especially where it comes to relationships, right? So we have this strong theme of developing beneficial relationships, relationship with yourself, relationship with others, really being able to see what's right in front of you, containing your emotions so that you can do the work, so that you can see what's right in front of you. And what's right in front of you is the truth, being able to discern the truth. Wow, a lot of really beautiful support surrounding you, and really powerful lessons that you're here to learn and gifts that you're here to share. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If it did, please hit the like button so that it can circulate amongst others, and subscribe to my channel. I plan on doing more of these pick a card readings, and I also do readings for every sign for every month. So yeah, check back in. Take good care. Okay, so pile 2. Let's take a look at the ancestral energies that are surrounding you, the type of support that they're providing to you at this time, or in your life in general, and then also the very specific messages that they have for you. Let's sync up. All right, what do we have here? Ooh, this is the overall spirit guide that you have with you, Mother Mary. Wow. Let's see. Some very, very, very wise ancestor supporting you in connecting with your own pure wonder with life, your own innocence. This is somebody that lived to a very old age, but kept that inner child very much alive throughout his life. Ooh. We have a younger energy here surrounding you. Very voracious in terms of their desire to know things, and probably the one that is attempting to communicate with you most frequently. So 2 masculine energies and 1 very strong female or feminine energy who was probably a leader in her life. Maybe she was in politics. Maybe she led an organization or a company. Maybe she led a family very proficiently. She really encountered a lot of adversity, and she made it a habit to speak truth to power. And that's the lesson that she's bringing to you as well. Wow. Okay. We also have, in terms of the lessons that you're here to learn, that they want to communicate to you, that the lessons, the fundamental lessons that you're here to learn have to do with loyalty and friendship and matters of the heart, your heart chakra, really developing emotionally. Let's read about these. So we'll come back to your ancestors. Let's read about the lessons that you have to learn here, the lessons that they're supporting you with and that they're providing you with. Unconditional love is what rose quartz is about. You are a beautiful soul who has infinite peace deep within and enormous empathy. Relationships are where you learn your soul lessons. Heal heartbreak or abuse and dissolve toxic emotions and pain that prevent you from giving and receiving love. You have power to love unconditionally and to support others. Wasn't that really what Mother Mary was all about? Wasn't she sort of a symbol of that unconditional love? Providing that unconditional love. Beautiful. So this is one of your lessons, really developing unconditional love for yourself and for others in order to deepen your human experience and to deepen yourself, to fully develop yourself, to fully develop your potential. Hinges sort of on that unconditional love aspect, and you have this sort of greater spiritual guidance, this divine spiritual guidance, and supporting you in this endeavor. And so then let's read about dog. Let's read about loyalty and friendship. Ooh, friendship should be about unconditional love, right? Okay. In examining dog medicine, you might find that you have fond personal memories of owning and loving a dog as a pet. The message that dogs are trying to give you is that you must delve deeply into your sense of service to others. Oh, wow. Unconditional love and service to others. And Mother Mary was certainly about service to others. Canines are genuinely service-oriented animals and are devoted to their owners with a sense of loyalty that supersedes how they are treated. Wow, again, another message of unconditional love. That's what unconditional love is about. Like dog completely epitomizes unconditional love. If dog has been yelled at or paddled, it still returns love to the person who was the source of its bad treatment. This does not come from stupidity, but rather from a deep and compassionate understanding of human shortcomings. It is as if a tolerant spirit dwells in the heart of every canine that asks only to be of service. I really feel like that's what you're being called to do. That's what you're being called to develop inside of yourself. Dog medicine asks you to look at how readily your sense of loyalty is countermanded by your need for approval. If you've pulled the dog card, there are several questions you need to be considering, depending on the situation about which you are asking. Number 1, have I recently forgotten that I owe my allegiance to my personal truth in life? Is it possible, this is number 2, is it possible that gossip or the opinions of others have jaded my loyalty to a certain friend or group? Number 3, have I denied or ignored someone who's trying to be my loyal friend? And number 4, have I been loyal and true to my goals? Wow. Strong message of unconditional love coming in for you. Not only love, unconditional love that you're receiving in order to support you in developing that aspect inside of yourself. Both of these cards just reinforcing one another, reinforcing that lesson for you, that message from your ancestors and from your spirit guides. Pay attention to this ancestor in your consciousness or in your surroundings. He's really doing his best to communicate with you. It might be through some sort of verbal message, audio, some sound. It's probably through sound, music, sounds in nature. This guy was in his life, when he was alive, he was a very strong communicator. He was a researcher. He was probably an academic type figure. He's certainly watching you, and he is communicating with you, so pay attention. And then this man here, we have two very opposite energies in terms of the ancestors that are around you right now. This energy lived to a very, very old age and still kept their inner child very much alive in the way that they perceived the things around them, the natural world, their experiences, other people. A deep, deep appreciation and feeling very inspired by the small things. And this is a very young energy, almost like a childlike energy or teenage type energy. You might, I'm getting a sense that he might communicate with you through hijinks, like bloopers, pranks. So pay attention to that happening in your life. And then, he really wants to communicate with you, so communicate with him, talk with him. And then finally, we have a maternal figure in your energy field or surrounding you, supporting you in developing your leadership skills, developing your ability to speak the truth. Speak truth to power, but also speak truth when you're in a position of leadership. So developing leadership and speaking truth. All right, so let's look into what messages your ancestors have for you right now at the time of this reading. What guidance are they wanting to bring to you right now? This is their chance to communicate with you around a situation that you're experiencing. And this is their chance to to communicate what they think you need to know right now. Creativity and the Fool. Take a chance. They're saying take a chance on some new creative endeavor. Take a chance on yourself. Take a chance on developing your creativity. Just step off the cliff very gracefully like this Fool. You have a beautiful safety net supporting you right now. Not a care in the world. Creativity is this is the Empress card. Yeah. There's so much flow in both of these cards, and I'm really hearing that that's where you need to be. You need to be in this flow energy in order to connect with this creative endeavor. And you need to let go. Letting go. They're saying let go. Dive deep into your creativity. What other messages do you have for pile number 2? Here we go. Oh yeah, this is going to lead to your breakthrough. Your ultimate breakthrough. It's a transformation. It's a transformation on the creative realm. Wow. Yeah, so getting in the flow, letting go, delving deep into your creativity, or so that you can really capitalize on this creative endeavor and have the breakthrough that you're really wanting to have right now. There, all of these cards are major arcanas. They are absolutely supporting you, and this is a big thing right now happening for you. This is a big transformation. These are big energies. All right. I hope that spoke to you. If it did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to do more of these pick a card readings, but I also do readings for every sign for every month. So check back in for those. Take good care. Pile number 3. We are going to be taking a look at the ancestral energies that are surrounding you and the greater universal spiritual energies that are surrounding you. We're going to look at the specific messages that they have for you. And we're also going to look at some of the lessons that you are here to learn that they are supporting you with. So here we have, first of all, for your greater universal energy that's offering you spiritual guidance at this time, we have Athena. So powerful. Her message to you is to trust your gut, to trust your inner wisdom, your intuition. It says you know what to do. And when you're working with Athena and her energy, you must call on her for support. She asks you to tap into your intuition first, and then she asks her to give you signs that you've heard your intuition correctly, and she will. Her power animals, her familiars, are white owls and black pigeons. So pay attention to that sign, or pay attention to those birds. If you see them, you'll know that she's with you. She's a warrior goddess, but she deals with wits instead of weapons, right? So she's very intellectual. She's very forward thinking. She's very future thinking. She has this beautiful crystal clear vision. You can also call on her to resolve disputes, any disputes you might be having. And she is also the goddess of creativity, writing, of arts and crafts. So she can support you with that. The lesson here, or the message here, is that you do need to call on her. You do need to ask for her help. But she is around you, and she's asking you to get in touch with your intuition, your own inner wisdom. The other ancestral energy that's surrounding you, we have 3 actually. We have the Emperor. So a very masculine energy, somebody who, wow, in their living life, they amassed quite a fortune. They amassed quite a bit of abundance around them, and they were a leader in their own right. They led organizations, they led corporations, they led an army potentially. They were a leader in the military potentially. They were seen very much as a leader. They're supporting you right now in building this type of wealth for yourself, building this type of abundance for yourself, and stepping into your own leadership abilities. You're like inner boss, your own inner CEO. They've got your back on that. They're supporting you in that endeavor. There's also just a strong energy of stability. Like they're bringing this stable, very stable, consistent guidance to you at this time or in your life. I'm going to bring these 2 up at the same time. These are 2 energies surrounding you that have to do with love and relationships and gifts of emotion. So these 2 energies surrounding you, they're very romantic. They're they're sort of dreamy. They're younger energies. They're not like the Emperor. I really get the sense the Emperor is an old energy. Maybe lived to a ripe old age. These are younger energies. I get a childlike energy from this figure here. He really wants to communicate with you. He's making an offering. The lesson that he's bringing to you, that he's trying to support you with, is to stay focused. He's trying to help you corral some of this distracted energy that you might have, that you might struggle with. This might be your challenge. And then the Knight of Cups, he reinforces. I feel like these are ancestors that were in the same immediate family, because he reinforces the Page of Cups. And he's also helping you with that same challenge that you're experiencing. This sort of, if you experience this, if you struggle with this sense of lack, a sort of poverty mentality, like I don't have enough, or if you're afraid about providing for your own basic needs, you're afraid for your own sort of basic survival, these two are really coming in to support you with that and to counter it with gifts of love, with offerings of love, countering it with love. And then let's look at the greater lessons. So for the greater lessons, we have Ancestral Light and we have Squirrel. So these are the lessons that are gonna follow you your whole life until you sort of learn them and become very familiar with them and work to unpack them and work to resolve them. So let's look at Squirrel. Gathering. If Squirrel has scurried into your cards today, it may be that you're being told to honor your future by readying yourself for change. The message could be to lighten your load if you've gathered too many things that do not serve you. These things can include thoughts, worries, pressures, stresses, or gadgets that have been broken for years. In understanding the balance involved in gathering, you need to look at the idea of circulating the stock of what you've gathered. Call the nearest thrift store and give the gadgets to someone who can benefit from them. If something no longer grows corn for you, then it's time to let it go. Squirrel has another lesson which can aid you if you observe what is obvious and which can prepare you for anything. It has to do with the safe place in which to put your gatherings. This safe place is an untroubled heart and mind, and that which is gathered to put in this place is wisdom and caring. The energies gathered will set your mind and heart free so that you will know that all will be taken care of in its own time. Apply this to your fears and the future, and they will vanish. Yeah, absolutely. You have these two ancestral energies that are helping you with this fear of lack, of not having enough. And they're supporting you in bringing you this message of like undying love, making offerings of love, emotional, the sort of the emotional counterpart to this fear, poverty mentality, this fear of not having enough. I do get the sense that these energies are tied to one another. Either they were in the same immediate family, maybe it was two brothers, a parent and a child, or a brother. Two brothers is what I'm getting. Yeah, so they know that you struggle with this feeling of like, I'm really afraid I'm not going to be able to take care of my basic needs. Like, what if I'm out on the streets? What if I don't have enough? And they're really supporting you and unraveling that so that you can have emotional freedom. Let's look at Ancestral Light. What lesson is this about? The ancestors. So yeah, confirmation, just a reinforcement here that you are being guided by your ancestors, that you do have these ancestral energies supporting you. Ancestral Light has been radically modified during its time in the earth. It helps you to find the treasures hidden in your past. It takes healing way back and brings forward soul learning, rolling it into the future, but letting go of the experiences that it created. Yeah, letting go. Any dis-ease you are carrying is ancient and has passed down through the ancestral line. It relates to prevailing attitudes and forbidden emotions that have been kept firmly repressed, as well as to ancient traumas and family dramas. Take note of your dreams. Family secrets come to the surface. A radical rethink is called for on all that you think you believe and allow yourself to feel. The ancestors are all those who have gone before, not just your bloodline. Heal them and heal yourself. Whoa. You are being called to heal some sort of historical trauma. Your ancestors are coming forth right now to give you that message and to offer their support. So it's a healing of some sort of old trauma that's passed down through the ancestral line that you feel in your life today. And it could have to do with this experience of poverty, like a survival issue. Maybe you had some family or ancestors in your past that really struggled to survive in some way. And the balm, the healing balm, is love, offering love, giving love, receiving love. Wow. Okay. Let's look at some messages they have for you right now. Some messages about any current situation you have in your life right now. What do they want you to know about how to navigate your current challenges, your current obstacles, or your current life situation? What would you like to communicate? Brothers, one older than the other, but not significantly. I'm thinking like a 1 to 10 year gap. These guys. All right, so the messages. Here we have guidance once again. I mean, just confirmation over and over again that you have this guidance in your life now and forever. Go with the flow. Let go. Let go. That's the message of squirrel, and it's also the message right here, going with the flow. Very, very clear. This is about letting go. It's about not swimming against the tide. Jump in the river and go with the flow. Not swimming against the current. Swimming with the current. Oh, politics. Here we go. This is a message of having the strength to be your true, authentic self. You may show one face to the world and then have another face for the people that you feel safe with, right? But this is about integrating all of that, like really cultivating that inner strength so that you can be your true, authentic self. It could also be that your guides are saying, hey, there's somebody around you that's not as they seem, that is showing you one face when in fact they have very ulterior motives. So it could be a message that you need to pay attention to that. The power of tears. I don't know if you can see that because the light is glaring pretty heavily off of it, but it's isolation. There is such huge healing that comes from a simple, I say simple because sometimes it's not so simple, a simple cry. Allowing that emotional release in order to melt the barriers that are around you, to take down your guard and to heal. Sometimes, we think about the healing process as being just sort of really drawn out and long and sort of, there's lots of steps and there's lots of work and there's lots of things that you have to do and you really have to engage in, you have to be aware of it, and it's hard work. But not all the time. Sometimes you can heal dramatically just by allowing yourself to have a really good cry. Just releasing that emotion, getting into that habit of releasing that emotion when you feel it, instead of letting it build up so that you have all of this boundary, barricade, ice around you that creates isolation for you. So this is a message from your guides and your ancestors that they want you to release your emotion when you feel it. Have a really good cry. When you feel like crying, please cry. Let it go. Let it go. We have 3 strong messages of letting go, going with the flow, crying, letting it go, an emotional release, and letting go of the thoughts and concerns or the anxieties or the actual tangible things that you've collected that create some sort of barricade around you that protect you from this feeling of not having enough. Let it go. Wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful for you. I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please hit the like button so that it can circulate amongst others, and consider subscribing to my channel. I do these pick a card readings, and I also do monthly readings for each sign, so check back for those as well. Take good care.